hit it and flip it, we did it off the line. Stay in the kitchen, I'm never off of mine. And now I'm Kemp in his prime.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Ball Don't Lie, the NBA Finals post-game show, man. It's your guys, Scott and Dante here, man. We've got two special guests we're about to bring in a second. Yeah, man, we are 4 games into this NBA Finals, and as you can see here, it's almost curtains for them boys in Miami as the Nuggets win 108-95. Nuggets take a 3-1 series lead, man. You know to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Scott, at October's own Tay, man. You can follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair on Twitter and Instagram, man. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchair Network, man. We're going to get right into the shits, man. It is announcement time. We have been promoting this announcement for the last couple weeks on this here podcast, man. So it's time to bring in some special guests, man.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, bro.
We got the guys Mariano and Just Smith in the house. What's going on, gentlemen?
Man, you know what's going on, man. What's going on? You know what's going on. We here. We out here.
It is we are here to tell you guys that at the conclusion of the NBA Finals, which God willing will be Monday. I hate when series are 3-1 and the teams try to do that little fight for their pride and shit.
Joker ain't having that shit, man.
Just roll over and die. Yeah. All right, you know what I'm saying? So
trying to get back to Serbia is over.
Right, exactly. To his horses and shit. Yeah. But when this series over, that will be a wrap for Ball Don't Lie. But no bad news here because there'll be a new basketball podcast on the network, man. Mariano, why don't you tell people what's going on?
Yeah. Listen, when Scott says it won't be no more, Ball Don't Lie, please don't take that as like bad news, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they still around, they still right there. You know what I mean? You still pull up here the guys and all that. It's just that we introducing something new, you know what I mean? Like the NBA back in the day, shot clock show, man. We out here,
clock show.
Me, myself, Mariano at Mariano on Twitter, 2 N's, 2 O's. Y'all know the rest, you know what I'm saying? And then I got my brother with me, man. You know what I mean? My brother somebody who, when I looked at this opportunity and I said, yo, if I'm going to do a basketball show, it's going to either be with him or nobody else. My bro Just Smith in the building, man. Just, what's going on, man?
Yes, sir, man. You already know. First of all, got a big shout out to Scott and Tay for even giving me the consideration. This is all us linking up off of organic energy. You know what I mean? When Marby being, extended family to me, it was a no-brainer. So, I'm excited to come on board. And like he said, this is a thing of new beginnings. It's not a thing of bad endings. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Facts.
It's all about elevating and all of us coming together and, not to be corny, just, a bunch of black brothers doing something productive and making something out of it. You know what I mean? And we're doing this collectively. So it feels great. We're excited, obviously. Shot clock show, like Marby said. We're going to get into all of that in detail later on. Obviously, don't want to hold up.
Most importantly, we watch basketball and we actually like basketball. So you probably won't get those takes that's like, anti-basketball. I know a lot of times you watch shows and listen to clips and it's everything but basketball. Like, we're going to speak.
Now we're here to talk hoop. You know what I mean? We're gonna break down what we've seen in the game. Yeah. We're going to talk about, things that we want to see change.
We're going to talk about what you didn't see. You might have been watching the game from a different set of eyes. Yeah.
Which was a lot of that tonight. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, boy. Let's talk about it.
No, I mean, this is not going to be a narrative-driven pod at all. This is the real talk. You're going to get some funny shit. We're going to say some jokes. We're going to smoke a lot of the process, too. Yeah. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we do get flowers and we do break down the game of basketball. Yeah. From a genuine standpoint. So,
and what better way to start than tonight?
And as you can see on the ticker, Scott and Dante go on vacation Tuesday.
That means that any text you got to get off, any big bros and all that, like get those off right now because when Tuesday come,
we won't be here.
Yeah,
do the magic.
My office hours. A
Tay
9
been
to
on
5.
vacation for about a month now.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's a fact.
No,
Yeah.
it's about that time, dog. I'm
Yeah.
out of here. I'm out of here.
That
You
A
know
lot
dude
of
what it is
baseball.
with
I got,
Tay?
got a lot of baseball to do, bro. It's a lot
Dante
of
take a
baseball to do.
vacation from vacation to do work. Like he come back, you know what I mean, here and there to do work, and then he go back on vacation full time. And that's the type of life you gotta, aspire to have. I ain't gonna lie. Like, shout out to Dante. Nah, dead
I'm
ass. Shout out to
jealous.
Dante. Like, come on, let's
I'm
not even
jealous.
play. But
Nah, bro. Like,
yeah,
no,
man.
you're right though. Like, it's been fun. We've been doing a lot of work, and like now it's time. I really think for me and Scott, take a step back and try to,
Mhm.
monetize this thing and really start getting bread for this work because we've been putting in the work and everybody sees it, and we appreciate everybody
Yeah.
watching. Saying everybody that's ever
Yep.
tuned in. We damn near me and Scott damn shit. We did about 75 episodes, bro. We
Nigga, like, and we
Yeah,
was talking
but-
about this. I was thinking about this like maybe an hour ago, like just a year ago. Like it was like me and Dante just on a day to day, and like a year later, we have a full staff now. So
Yeah.
shout out to everybody.
Think about for those that are like not involved in doing pods and like this is not what you do. Think about all the episodes that they probably did that didn't happen because like technical difficulties and shit like
Yeah.
that. So when you talk about 75 or 85 or 95 or 105, you got to add like 30 more to that because it was a lot more episodes that was supposed to happen. So when you get an episode, you got to understand like what went into that. So when you get it in this quality, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, they really care. And I think that's what made it easy because like Scott and Dante and everybody at Barbershop Network is extended family. It's like, of course, we're gonna come on and help. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna come on and be this because we want to be a part. It's like the cookout, bro. You going to the cookout, like, yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we going over this person's house after this. Yeah, let's do it. It's not even a thought. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just this network in general. You know what I mean? Like when I speak about y'all, I speak about this network in general. It's just this is something you want to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful, man.
Shout out to all the new members of the company. When we got Dante was talking about, the baseball shit we got a lot of baseball content coming in this season. So a lot of big announcements and stuff going on. And like I said, we gonna have the series, not the series, but the season finale. I'm not gonna hold you back. This will be this week, but wait till y'all see what I got coming for season 4, man. We about to do some wild shit for season 4, so stay tuned to that. But I'm glad to have my brother Mariano on with us full time. You know what I'm saying? Glad to have Justin in the fold, man. I'm excited about the Shot Clock show, man. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna have an official date for y'all real soon. It's gonna come to y'all right after the finals, man. So it's gonna be no break. So
for all of y'all NBA fans who, if you don't follow college basketball that tough, please don't worry. We're not judging you. We actually welcome you and welcome more people like you because my brother Just is one of the most knowledgeable people, if not the most knowledgeable person that I've ever known in my life about when it comes to college basketball, even down to high school. So I'll let Just talk to y'all a little bit more about that. But y'all can rest assured that when the draft happens and free agency and all that, he's going to hold you down and he's going to let you know, like, okay, you losing sleep over this pick, but here's why you should be celebrating that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. So yeah, look out for that. Let's get into tonight though, man.
Yeah.
Game 4 is a wrap. The Nuggets win 109-94, man. Shit. I mean, Nikola Jokic, it's funny that this is we call a mild Nikola Jokic night, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He was in foul trouble the entire night. 15 and 12 night for Jamal Murray, but this is what the game tied. Anytime you have Aaron Gordon give you 27, 7, and 6, that's a fucking problem. That's a fucking problem.
Yeah,
he hit 3 threes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bro. It was a complete game by Denver, bro. They had they had 5 players in double figures. Bruce Brown had 11 points in the fourth quarter. It really cooked up at the end. Like the score was a lot closer than it looked, but at the end they really put on the gas and they were able to do this with Joker on the bench. And that's one thing that everybody talks about. When you can't take advantage of the minutes when Joker's not on the floor, it's tough to beat them. Like it's tough to beat them. And so Brown was making shots. When Murray wasn't making shots, he was making shots. Aaron Gordon had his way. Like I was looking at his shot before we got on here, and he hit 3 threes, but like his other 8 baskets were like right at the bucket. Like he basically just turned around and put them bitches in, or like he caught a oop. So like he was really, we talked, like I said, we talked about them and they 2 big lineup, bro. Like they one of the few teams that still run that.
Those open looks was a product of what bothered me all night, which is Miami's defense. It's the worst defense I ever seen at the NBA Finals level, damn near.
There was
Like,
just so many open looks, man.
there's no way in hell. I don't care. And trust me, I'm one of the people that I see Jamal Murray as a star to a superstar, right? That's just me. That's why I feel like when Joker's off the court, nothing drops off because he's that good. A lot of people don't see him like what I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to what happened today, though, if you watch how many times they trapped Murray and left the best player in the world wide open.
Multiple.
Right?
Yeah, you gotta let that breathe. Yeah,
let it breathe for a minute. I want y'all to
100%.
the 2-time NBA MVP.
Yeah.
The man that averages a triple-double after eating a chopped cheese at halftime. We're gonna leave him open, right? That's what we're gonna do in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a problem, and trust me, I think that is a matchup problem regardless. I just think Denver is too much for Miami regardless. But at the same time, you can't beat yourself either. Like, you can't go out there and say I'm a trap Murray but leave Joker open. Like, there's nothing that Joker cannot do from an offensive standpoint. So you leaving him open is not like, oh, he can't shoot.
Yeah.
He can freaking shoot.
Yeah.
He can pass from anywhere on the floor, which is why they got those looks they got where, of course, Aaron Gordon is open because you're fucking trapping Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
And it's 3 other people open, you know, and what people don't account for is you got a championship player in KCP on the wing. He knows how to hit those shots in the big moments. You can't leave him alone. So now you just everybody's scrambling on the court, going from one person to the next person, one person, next person. But the MVP of the entire world is wide open and has time to decide whatever he wants to do. It's a problem. It's a major problem. And you're not winning any game like that, no matter how hard you play. I don't care how many times Spoelstra looks like fucking Haji from fucking Johnny Quest. It doesn't matter. It's a rap.
Yeah.
It's a recipe for losing.
Yeah, no, what you saying makes sense because it's like, all right, if you look at you like you said, you look at the way that Denver is playing, but Miami's defense, those players look like they're starting to believe that they're not supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole postseason has been, yo, Miami ain't supposed to be here, so any game they get is in positive territory. It's like now you get to the finals, and I feel like that's when the work you put in the offseason before the season starts, that's when this shit start to show. It starts to show like right now, like, okay, effort. We talking about defense, not just like guys being able to hit shots, whatever. If you can't play defense, you're probably not going to score on offense either. So when you playing against a dude like Jokic, just like your dog, he's him. Do you understand that? Like, I don't know how many games it's going to take you to understand that who you're playing against. But if you ever have a lapse in 1 second for leaving him open, it's already done. It's already done because the mentality is so far gone that like the next game, I promise you, if Miami keeps this game closer than like 3 points for a quarter, I will be shocked. That next game should be a rout
it should be a
from
wrap.
start to finish. Yeah, no, that ass because it's the effort. It's not about the ability. Like you look at Gabe Vincent, Strus, whoever, and they can hit these shots and they can knock them down. They can get the lead down from 21 to 13. Yeah, but what about when the lead is 8 points for the whole game? What you gonna do then? When it's so frustrating that it's right there, but you still can't crack it.
Grab it.
I think like with basketball, as we all know, it's a game of matchups, and it's like I kind of feel like maybe if there was any other team that would have came out the West, then maybe the Heat would have probably won that series just about how they play basketball. But it's just a bad matchup. Like there was points in this entire game. Now, granted, coming to the series, I picked Heat in 5, and I think me and Dante both picked Heat in 5. Not Heat in 5, but Nuggets in 5.
No, I'm gonna say Nuggets in 5.
Nuggets 5. Yeah, not Heat in 5.
Hold on now, brother. No, I need me to send a homemade drug test to y'all right now. I will send it. Dante, I'll pull up on you in person.
I've had a couple of dope beverages since halftime. So
I'm having one right now, my brother. So continue.
Bear with me. But we both said Nuggets in 5, but it felt like in this game in particular, it's like they were fighting so hard to just be at like 7-point deficit.
Yeah,
and it was just too much, and it's like. It finally feels like you said, just I won't say they quit, but it kind of felt like for the first time all playoffs, they like, damn, we are the AFC.
This just might not be it because the problem is. So let's just go back a second, real quick, right? Let's go back to the Boston Celtics series, right? This is when you goes into your point about matchups and teams and how the approach is, right? So Boston has a very bad problem, honestly, of kind of like playing down the competition. And with teams like Miami, they read and they feed off of shit like that. Denver's coming to bust your ass at all times, right? So you cannot play that game with them and say, I'm just need to stick around. I need to stick around because they really don't have mental lapses because their best player, you can arguably say, is the most cerebral player in the whole entire league.
Yeah.
So, and then they have a coach who refuses to let them get to that point, right? So, you look at the differences in matchups, like you said, matchups go beyond just like player versus this player. It's mentality versus mentality. It's coaching versus coaching. It's chess games from all over, angles of the court. So Denver's not a team you could be like, well, we just need to keep it at 8. No, because Denver might just honestly be okay with just keeping it at 8 and 10 because they know like you're not going to get past this 8 regardless anyway.
I think the perfect stat for that is when Jokic went out with that 5th foul, they had a 10-point lead. He comes back and it's just a 9-point lead. Like nothing really, there was no gap that was closed there.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the reason why when you look at I think it was game 1, where like I said, Kyle Lowry had like 11 points, but he hit all his big shots in the last 3-4 minutes. And it was like, oh shit, he had a big game. And it's like, no, they lost that game and it really wasn't close for real. Yeah. They just had a little run here and there, certain quarters. Like tonight is an example of why Denver is dominant because it's like, yo, bro, you're going to have stretches where you look like you're supposed to do this. And but it's like the game was never really close. We were 2 Jokic plays away from this. And my favorite thing about Jokic, like I said all the time, I'm not saying you don't complain about fouls. Everybody does. Whenever things are tough, like just said, he was in foul trouble before he got most of his, shit that we praising him for. Like it was, he don't care. It's like, all right, cool. This is the way they call it in the game. I got to do something else. That's just it. That I have to figure it out. And he figured it out every single time. So it's like Miami is, like you said, they're playing like, we ain't supposed to be here. That next game, I promise you, I will be surprised if the game is closer than 7 points after 1 quarter. I would be surprised.
I mean, it might be like that. Y'all remember that 2008 Game 6 where the Lakers just got steamrolled.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? It might be something like that.
It might lose about 40, right?
because it's like Miami is not. Again, everybody's like to say like they're not supposed to be here, but it's like but let's not discount the fact that the Nuggets are supposed to be here. All season long, we've been talking about how efficient the Nuggets offense is. How Mike Malone will call a timeout when they up 13 points. He on some Popovich shit. Yeah. Let's be real. Like he's really on some shit that when we look at like great coaches, we look at the shit that he does. Like in the post game, and he's talking stick talk, like future talk. Like he said, "Yo, bro,
you ain't heard nothing yet."
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
that promo he's finna cut.
We won.
That promo Michael Malone finna cut when they hoist that Larry OB.
Mike, listen, he's speaking, bro. And it's the thing. This is what I respect about him even more. Before he was this, he had the viral shit of him saying, yo, call me Michael. I'm not Mike, bro. Call me Michael. Michael Myers. You think Michael Myers let niggas call him Mike? I'm Michael Myers. I am Michael. You have to call me Michael.
What did Charles Barkley say? I'm calling him Mike. He can't beat my ass.
It's what it is. Right. And that's the thing. How many niggas whooping Michael Myers? No,
I think, and the thing I love about Mike Malone, because he coached my boy before too, Maury. So he had a lot of respect for Mike. But with Mike, the thing that I like is that he don't just go to the podium and say shit that he didn't say in the locker room.
Right.
He's the same exact thing that he said verbatim to them. Like he'll go in the locker room and be like, yo, they was shitty. And he'll be in the office, like he'll be in the locker room and be like, y'all niggas is shitty today, B. Like, I don't even want to look at y'all. And they come out. He
was disgusted when they lost game too.
He's always disgusted. He was disgusted after game 2.
He was disgusted when they was in game 1 up 13 points. Let's not forget about that. Like he was disgusted. He called a timeout and was like, "Yo,
he don't care, bro.
Like what y'all doing? It's 13
like
now,
like, bro. It's a thing of effort with him. You know what I mean? Like, and if you're not giving him that effort, he does not care.
I remember Shannon Sharp said something. He made a comment and he said that when he was in Baltimore, he would have good games, and then even after he had a good game, the coach would call him to the side and be like, yo, look at this. And he'd be like, yo, coach, you won. He's like, yeah, but you're doing bad habits in the win. And I can't support that. Mike Malone seems like a guy who's very much in the locker room saying, "Yeah, we might have won this game by 20, but look what you did in the last 8 plays, bro.
Right.
We can't keep that. That's not sustainable. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not sustainable, and that's the reason why Denver is here right now. Like,
I'm saying you saw that with the Michael Porter MPJ minutes getting cut. Like he's not having any of that. Like if you're not producing, you're not gonna be on the floor. And like speaking of producing, me and Scott, I told Scott this last episode, I was like that the combo of Max Strus and Gabe Vincent. Like if you're not getting nothing from them,
he's gonna keep going on this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm with him. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm with him. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you why I'm with him. I love an underdog. And Marvin can tell you, I love hitting gyms. I love players that step on, that come out the blue and make things happen. It's not a knock against them, but when they're in a situation like this where their team gets so far and they did their thing going through the playoffs, people have to understand this is another team that, like you said, where they're already like, we're not even probably supposed to be here at this point. These players is thinking the same thing too. Like, I wasn't even supposed to be starting. Mm-hmm. I'm the starting in the finals. These lights is fucking bright, nigga. This shit look like Times Square right now. The fuck. So when people put these unrealistic expectations on them, it's unfair to them too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like let them off the hook at all because you're there. But at the same time, people like, well, like we spoke earlier, Cody Zeller's not producing. It's fucking Cody Zeller. I don't expect him to produce shit, to be very honest with you. If he gives me something, we had a great day.
Right. He give you 4 points, you good. You won about 40.
Right, and today they didn't give you shit. Max had 0 and Gabe had 2. So you feel me? Like these are plays you've been leaning on with Tyler being out. And like you said, as much as I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was ugly for the Heat when like Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love were like your bucket
cooking.
At one point during the game, that's what was keeping them afloat. Kyle Lowry and Kevin Love. I'm like
Kevin Love had like a burner for like the beginning of the fourth quarter. Like he was on a roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what's so ill about this finals. No, go ahead.
I'm out for the funniest shit. Just to make a good point about Kevin Love. I said the same like, damn, Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry playing their ass off. In one play, Kevin Love fell on the floor. That nigga ain't come back in after that.
It's over. 100%.
I said it's over.
When
they put that ice on his back, he was
you seen it, right? I was like, nah, man, you doing too much. You went too far. You gone too far, Star.
But the thing I was gonna say is like this finals. Obviously, I think a lot of us have looked at Jokic and like seen how he played and been like, nah, he one of them. And it didn't necessarily take us from being on the fence about him because we was already on the side of like, we just want to see the rest of y'all buy in on what we talking about. I think this finals is doing the most for Jamal Murray because like before the injury, during the injury, and after, it was a lot of question marks. Like, what can he be? What will he be? After this, and like, all right, now let's see. So now we in the finals and we like, damn, when Jokic is off the floor, there's no drop off because there's a guy that's as great as Jokic, even without those numbers. He's as great as Jokic, period, in what he does. So I feel like this finals is doing way more for him, really. Because Jokic is so great, we expected kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But Jamal Murray is one of those guys when we're looking at, and I think a lot of us who are pure basketball watchers are proud of him, like, thank you. I'm glad you worked out because your game is what works.
No, absolutely. And like, he's another player that like had the opportunity to kind of scout coming out of high school from Canada. And I was like, I knew he was a problem, you know what I mean? Especially, and to be very honest with you, as much as Kentucky is like a basketball factory, it gets tricky with Kentucky because Calipari will recruit 5-point guards at the same time and figure it out later on down the line, which I hate, you know what I mean? So I won't he went there like, what the fuck is Calipari going to do with him? But then I was like, the kid is 6'5" playing point guard, man. Like, there's nothing you could do with him. He can shoot. He's athletic on the low. You know what I mean? He's a big body still. You know what I mean? And he doesn't back down from any challenge. And I think that a lot of times people get lost in the fact when dudes get injured. You know what I mean? And not only that, he had injuries around him when he wasn't injured either, right? Like, MPJ just finally got healthy.
What Scott was saying, he got a hot back.
Hot back Porter, man.
That shit went platinum in the streets, man.
Hot back Porter.
You know what I mean? He was injured. You know what I mean? You had the bubble. They just ran into like a conglomerate, but the bubble, Murray showed his ass off. You know what I mean? He's been showing his ass every playoff, and you come back and look at it. But something has always gotten in the way. And that's how I also knew, like, at this point, I was like, this shit is destined for Denver to win.
Yeah.
There's too many times they touch that line and they don't cross it. And now at this point, Jamal's like, I can
And he
smell
looked poised in the finals too, bro.
It's
Like
too
I don't know if
easy,
niggas
bro.
paying attention to just
It's too easy.
his demeanor after and one or after a call don't go his way or do. Like
He
he'll
just keep
there's
going,
little
bro.
shit like that where he'll look up and be like,
Well, I
and
think
I'm
it's
like,
I think they're taking on the whole me against the world type thing, like the
no
entire
Nuggets
playoffs.
fan, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
even like when they swept the Lakers, like they celebrated for a minute there in the Staples Center hallway, like for more. Like they instantly switching. Like it's just everything about it. Like I think I said this after game one, where it's like when we started the playoffs, we did a playoff preview episode like 2 months ago now, and I was like, man, I really want to take Denver. Like I really felt like they were going to actually get it done this year, but I took the coward way out and I picked the Bucks. But it was something about it that I wanted to take Denver, and the way that they handled the Minnesota situation. But when they went up 2-0 against Phoenix, and then KD and Book caught fire in games 3 and game 4, the way they responded in game 5, then wiped them off the mat in game 6. I was like, okay, this is a different team. And I knew they were going to beat the Lakers. I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Yeah.
They just showed dominance. Like, look, at the end of the day,
they didn't play with their food.
Yeah, they're a play-in team, nigga. Like, we've been here since the beginning.
And that's an excellent point, Scott, right? Because when you get this far in the finals, and especially now at this point where they're 3-1, it's kind of like it's over in our mind. You start playing each round back like they were supposed to be here from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like you start looking back at each round, like even going back to the Phoenix series, like context is everything. Those 2 games they lost, I didn't sit there and was like, damn, they're in trouble. I never felt they was in trouble. Shit just happens sometimes, and that's been one of Denver problems for a while, where they couldn't really close out games. They've learned how to do that shit now, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
And they don't have a deep rotation, but the rotation that they have is enough for them, ironically. You know what I mean? Like, they're only playing 8 guys, and then 3 guys that come off the bench is getting like 10 minutes. And it's fucking Jeff Green. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you getting 21 from Bruce Brown, bro. Like, if
Bruce
you get
Brown,
listen. If you get if you get 11 from Bruce Brown earned his next contract.
How mad is Kevin Durant right now that this Bruce Brown didn't exist 2 years ago?
Mad.
Oh boy. Boy.
They'd have beat Milwaukee if this Bruce Brown was there 2 years ago.
But 100%. But a lot of times it takes those type of losses at those big stages to make a dude who he's gonna be. Like, it takes a Bruce Brown being in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Being like, damn, all right, next time I get a chance, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that goes back to my point too, which is something we're gonna dive into a lot when shot clock comes out too. One thing I want to talk about is, not to go too deep in this, how players like Bruce Brown, like people, I just tweeted it, like people think that Bruce Brown just woke up on a Friday, like, I'm gonna fucking play basketball today. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about opportunity too, man. You know what I mean? And it's like he has an opportunity in Denver to where he can do all of these things that people didn't know he can do. I watched Bruce Brown in Miami. None of this shit is surprising to me. But the league changes people, and some niggas is like, I just need to stay in this league. So if that means I can't shoot no more, but I'm gonna get paid for just defending and making a play here and there, then that's just what the fuck I'm gonna do. However, there's a difference in superstars. It goes from KD and Kyrie to fucking the Joker. Like, I'm going to get the ball at some point, and Joker's going to get mad at me if I don't even shoot. You know what I mean? Like, with KD and Kai, you might not get it. You know what I mean? And it's not a thing but it's just the way how they play. With Joker, and even with Murray. Murray's averaging like 10 assists this whole finals right now.
Yeah, he's the first person who started the NBA Finals debut with 10 assists in the first 4.
How insane is that?
And he had like in the first half too. Like, that was crazy shit.
So imagine, right? Like, with the way Denver plays, and off those 2 players alone, Joker and Murray, that's 20 assists being average between them. The opportunity is there.
That means they just need the personnel, bro. Like, all you know what I mean? That's really
even with Gordon. Gordon is a de facto playmaker. Nobody's noticed that. Gordon has been running point.
It's been a lot of hee all fucking series, man.
A lot of them, because you know what it is though. It's because basketball is a simple game. It's
in the words of Stacey King, it's a simple game.
Bro, it's a simple game. Listen, no, like that ass, like, that's what it comes down to. So when you look at Jokic, everything that he does is we're looking at it like, oh shit. But it's only because it's like how women be dating now, and they know a nigga that know the difference between there, and there. They like, oh wow, he's one of the special ones. And it's like, yeah, we looking at Jokic make this open pass, but it's like, you know how open that pass is all season? You just don't see the player on your team make it because he's not that smart. It happens all the time. Like basketball IQ plays a part in all of this. So when you look at a guy like that and you in the finals, I'd assume that's going to tip the scales a little bit in your favor when your best player is also your smartest player too. Like that's kind of important.
And I think, I got a question for all three of y'all. I'm going to start with Dante, man. If we talk about everything the Nuggets do well. Now, we know they're down 3-1. There's only been one team in the history of the sport to come back 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Of course, that was the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016. But Dante, if you're Eric Spoelstra, what are you telling the guys in the fucking locker room right now? Because you got to keep them engaged somehow.
Y'all want to win? Y'all want to go on vacation? What y'all want to do? I mean, at this point, it's that simple. Like it's 3-1, like you said. There's only one team that's done it, and they had, the greatest player of his generation on that team. So, the mission is clear. It's a matter of what y'all want to do. Like you said, with Spo, he's been throwing the kitchen sink at him for the past 2 games, and no matter what he does, bro, like Denver finds a way to to just counter that and get off. Like I said, Bruce Brown had 21 and had 11 in the fourth. So it's really a matter of, are my role players going to show up? Jimmy gave you 25 tonight. I mean, at this point, like I said, we've talked about this the whole playoffs, putting these expectations on Jimmy like he's fucking one of these elite guys, like he's KD or Devin Booker, or I'm just talking about offensively, guys that can go out there and get you 30 a night. That's not Jimmy's game.
That's not his game.
That's not his game. He did it, when they needed him to, but that ain't who he is. And so you're gonna need a complete team effort from Miami to do anything to make this even remotely competitive. And it's rough saying that because tonight they had 6 people in double figures. You feel me? And you still lost by 13. So
I mean, this is and before I get to Mario and Just look at these. I'm looking name off some of these stats. Like, to me, the game right here is 3 points because of the 3-point percentage. Because the Heat went 8 for 25, Nuggets went 14 for 28. Everything else was barely identical. Like, they shot 45%, Denver shot 49. The free throws, they shot better in free throws than the Nuggets. Than the Nuggets did, 85%. They had more total rebounds, more, offensive and defensive, had, more blocks. It's crazy. Like the turnover battle and 3 points to me was like everything that was the difference in the game right there. And it's just, and Denver, I would say probably didn't even play that well, which is the crazy thing.
And that's the part that you got to be scared of if you're in Miami, because it's like, when you could look at a team that won handedly and be like, they could have did better, it just goes to show you the level of competition, because we're not even talking about what you did well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have lost by 50 points tonight. You really could easily. With the chains of 2-3 possessions, you could have lost by a lot more than you did tonight. But the fact that it's like, it was close as what it was, cool, y'all did your thing. But like, Denver is just a basketball team, bro. They're really just a basketball team. Like, and I think that it's great because like a lot of these beat writers all season was just like, yeah, Denver has nothing interesting going on. It's yes, they have nothing interesting going on if you're not interested in basketball from a basketball team. However, if you actually like watching basketball and you like watching the best players, the best team, the best coach play that game, you'll probably like this Denver Nuggets team. You might like what they do.
I'm glad you brought it up. In the words of Mike Wilbon, my nigga, I'm glad you said
that.
Yeah. Because I think the NBA's biggest problem is so many people watch the NBA and they don't like basketball. Like, there's no way that this series started and you thinking, oh, this is just going to be boring as hell. Even though it's been a 3-1 series, I wouldn't call this series boring. Like,
it's not been boring.
It hasn't been boring. Yeah, it's been some good basketball. And I think that the coverage over the Nuggets this year, from the team to the Jokic shit, is like everybody is looking stupid right now. And I said on my show probably like a month ago, a lot of people want to shut the fuck up on Monday night. A lot of people want to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they getting their ring size this Monday. I mean, to kind of piggyback off of everything y'all just said and even answer all the questions you just, mentioned, like you go back to what Marvy said about Denver not really playing well, right? You look at Miami in this series and you look at all the couple past games that just occurred. Miami is not necessarily getting their ass bust.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of that comes from looking at, damn, fucking Joker got, 55, 30, and 15, which is he does that shit against anybody. It doesn't matter who's going to be in the court. He's going to do that regardless. Now Jamal Murray getting a triple-double with that and 30 points is kind of don't get me wrong. Yep. That's a little bit it's crazy, but it's Jamal Murray, like I said. But to answer your question that you posed to all of us, what are you saying in the locker room, as a coach, is we still could do this shit. And as corny, as cliche as it sounds, but it's true because nobody's gotten blown out yet. We're making a lot of silly defensive mistakes, and we're going away from our game. That's the biggest thing. Like, to me, three ball has become such a prevalent thing in the NBA. It bothers me because it's like they think anybody's supposed to shoot threes. It's like Jeff Van Gundy earlier is like, well, not even Stephen A, all of them, but they just was like, oh, Miami needs to make threes. They need to shoot threes. And it's like, have you not noticed that Miami is not really a 3-point team?
Yeah.
Like,
also, do you think that teams that don't shoot the three well are going to the bench like, what should we do about this 3-point shot? It's like, bro, if the shots ain't falling, it's just, people say it's a big mislead. It is what it is. These same looks that they're getting sometimes was falling against Boston. It just ain't falling right now, bro.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And again, it's a mental thing, right? Because Boston will make you feel like you can shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
Denver gonna be like, man, shoot that shit. That shit. Now it's like, the fuck, nigga, I just was lighting Boston up, and now your brain, I can't shoot. In the last week or two, we just was.
But it's also kind of like
what it's mental warfare, bro.
Yeah, you're right about that. And it's also like something me and Dante said like before the series started. Like Milwaukee without Giannis, the Knicks and the Celtics will go through these offensive droughts where they don't score for like 5-6 minutes, and the Heat will find their way to get back in the game because they will find ways to stay up in it. You can't afford that shit with the Nuggets. We just seen it time and time again. There was times when the Lakers we roll. I mean, Game 4 of the Lakers series is a prime example. Lakers are up 15, heading into that fucking halftime, thinking, okay, we just get this. We just gotta get one in Denver. We back in Game 6 at Staples Center. They went on like a 4-minute drought, and it was a 3-point game.
And that's a testament. That's a testament to what the majority of the NBA culture is now, and the teams and all that shit is now, is because you get a 15-point on these dudes now. They don't come from the same type of spaces, bro. Like, they don't have the same things on the line as the players back then had on the line. So it's like 15-point lead. All right, cool. We lose by 20. Fuck it. Other teams have lost by 60. We will be okay. They'll forget about this in 2 days. Like, that's just their mentality. They don't care about how it's going to look on your resume. Like, yeah, bro, you lost by 40 this day. They only care about right now. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of that trickles down to, like, the culture of the NBA right now. Yeah. So, again, you look at these finals. This finals is going to make some people, and it's going to break a lot of people, as well. Yeah. But I think as long as niggas get paid, like, do they care? Denver, I think you look at that team.
Denver care, bro.
They care. That's what I'm saying. Like, that team cares, bro. They care. Like, if they don't win the championship, they can't play in the league next year.
They just made people might think it's nothing, but they just made a fucking trade in the middle of the finals.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
That does not happen. I don't think people understand. That's what you call a blue moon, bro.
Exactly.
That shit is not normal that they're making trades for this year's draft, and they're about to get a ring on Monday. That shit is not normal. They care, and that's
goes
why
back to the culture. It goes back to the state of the culture.
It goes back to you got to give love to their general manager, Calvin Booth. Like, I don't think he gets enough love. Yeah, he's thinking ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? He's thinking, okay, we almost close to getting this championship. And I saw it today on ESPN. When I was making some lunch, and I didn't peep like. Fucking free agency negotiations start on the 30th. Like, this shit is
it's right there.
And you got to factor that in too, right? Because somebody's gonna sit there and be like, I want to go play with them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
What's the best way to sell somebody is saying, like, we have a championship culture that you can provide, like, something valuable to, you can contribute to. Imagine if anybody hit you up and said, yo, We got shit rocking over here at this company. But you, boy, you won't help us.
Oh no,
You're way
absolutely.
easier to receive that message. Like, oh shit, the Nuggets. Yeah, let's do that.
And the weed is legal here.
And lunch probably on Rocky the mascot because he getting paid like 600 bands for dancing around like Usher. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You go out there, they got weed. They got good views there. You can go
bro,
kick
I'm
with Peyton Manning,
going.
nigga. You know what I'm
going,
saying?
bro. Yeah, I'm going, dog. I'm getting
Terrell
pictures
Davis
with John Elway. I'm gonna get a chance to tell all the joints, yo, this is John Elway. You don't know him, do your knowledge on him. Like, and you gonna Google him and be like, oh, John Elway is him. Yo, I'm him. You see me next to him.
You know what I'm saying? Might run up to Russell Wilson crib real quick or something.
You feel me? You want to learn the choreography to Sierra's what video? Yo, she right over there. I'm right down the block. Like, yo, hold on. Yo, see. Ha. Yo, this me. Yeah, nah, word. I'm at the, and then you hear the, I'm coming up. Yo, you hear she finna teach you the choreography.
Right?
Like, what we talking about?
Might pop out with the Nene Hilario jersey on, too.
Listen. Nene Hilario might be there. You hear me? Like, this type of shit that's Denver. Like, where's Nene Hilario? Where do you think he's at right now? He's probably in Denver right now.
They got everything to sell, and to be honest with you, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people want to be in big markets, but a lot of people are starting to realize players that they are the market, right? So it kind of don't matter where you at. It's about what you're doing there, because you can go to a big market and be funky as fuck. So does it really matter? It's kind of counterproductive, right? So if I go to a team that's not as big a market and let's just even get them to the conference finals, that's way more accomplishing.
Nigga, this is also
or whatever. So
what you saying right now is a masterclass in like Giannis being underappreciated for bringing the championship to fucking Milwaukee. Like in our lifetime, how many times? Listen, let's be real. How many times have Wisconsin been counted on to win a championship outside of the Packers?
I mean,
let's be real.
Time out. They haven't won anything since Obama's last term.
So, no, 100%. But I'm just saying. Period. Overall, when we look at them, there was no situation where we was looking at them for basketball reasons. They gonna be all right. Like, no, let's really be real about this, because I'm gonna be real. When Kobe told Giannis MVP championship next, in my head, I was like, all right, MVP, okay. Championship in Milwaukee, I would like to see it. You know what I'm saying? And then he showed it, and niggas didn't even care. Because we're not still talking about it now like it's the biggest shit ever. That shit is amazing.
I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody in our chat room right now. Orlando Ortiz says Dante is in outer space.
I'm not, but that's his go-to line. That's his go-to line every time he coming on anything.
Shout out to Ola Ortiz, because I know that's the homie. But this is part of the reason, allegedly, that I need to pull up on Dante, bro, because I've been
Dante just got high face sometimes. You'll think he high, but he not.
Yeah,
that
mean, you know what that mean? That mean he listen to good music.
I definitely do.
Because his aura tells me that he listens to good music. Like I tell him, he listens to good music.
Probably got the Steve Hightower soundtrack, B.
For sure.
He got the Steve Hightower soundtrack with the view of Midtown Atlanta from his living room.
I'm gonna tell you right now from Dante. Tom Joyner run the playlist by him before he go on the cruise.
Right.
Like, all right, bet. What you think about this right here? And he's like, nah, you know what? If it was me, I'll put the Frankie Beverly and Maze right there.
And then,
you
probably got the WBLS tattoo.
You feel me? That's what I'm trying to tell you. The lines and all that. Like, come on. You can't play with Dante like that.
That nigga tell you playing the best jazz music, and nigga be high.
That's what we ain't
going no, the jazz is my shit, low key. What are you playing?
I'm gonna tell you, let me tell y'all niggas a quick jazz story, right? It ain't involving Utah, because why would it? When I was young, right, like my pops, long live my pops, he used to listen to jazz in the car when we'd be riding through the city and shit, you know what I mean? Get something to eat, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm a tyke, feel me? A lad and all that, you know what I'm saying? And I used to always be waiting for the lyrics. I used to be like, yo, when is the I bet. Okay, bet, bam. Okay, this is what his lyrics were playing. And then the next voice I heard was like, yeah, that was this person with that song. And I'm like, this what you be listening to? Like, I'm in my head. But now later on in life, I'm like, I get it.
That nigga was spitting.
That's no.
I get it because I'll be listening to jazz music and mostly it's from like Mad Lib shit. Like if you listen to like any playlist that Mad Lib sample from, whoo, boy.
Yeah, bro. No, that should be right. Like it's perfect for like the end of the day type shit. Like if you just sit down, especially on some creating shit when you sitting there writing or whatever, bro. Like,
and you know that's my zone right there. Creating, writing, doing something. That's what it is.
Calm and relaxing, bro.
Yeah, I understand jazz music when I get old. You know what I'm saying? I say that to say, let's get the jazz out of Utah, please, because we shouldn't all be agreeing on what jazz means. You see what I did with that? Like we shouldn't all be agreeing on what jazz means, and it's in Utah.
In a city where black people are not allowed unless you play for the team. But
I mean,
worst city in America, nigga.
We're gonna wrap this one up, man. This is the type of content you're gonna get on the Shot Clock.
This is what you're gonna get the Shot Clock. And if y'all didn't catch the conversation, you know, a part of the backstory about, you know, the Shot Clock pod being, you know, the Shot Clock show and all that is because a lot of people like to say, you know, we all get the same 24. Yeah, we do. But our 24 is different. Your 24 is going to look different than mine. It's going to look different from his, hers, from they, from them, from everybody. You know what I'm saying? We just here to explore all that. That's all. We here to give you a little portion of that bomb, real life, mixed with basketball, mixed with a little bit of what you went to. You know what I'm saying? So just tune into us, man.
Definitely, man. Mariano, just let them know where they can follow you guys at on all the socials.
Real quick, at Mariano on Twitter, on 2 and 2 O's. Like I tell you, she asked me for money. At Mariano Bivens on Instagram. Just go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, my name is right there, _Just Smith on Twitter. IG, we just gonna reverse it around. You know what I'm saying? Like King Griffey hat _ at the end.
Definitely, man. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarbChair Scott, man. I'm not gonna hold you. Finale will be dropping next week before we go on a little summer break. You can follow Dante at October Zone Tay on Twitter. Follow the Barbers Chat Network at Barbers Chat Net on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe to the Patreon, people. Patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network, man. We got
almost threw up a hand sign. It was like a piece or whatever, but you out in LA, Scott, and I don't want to do nothing with things. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know what was acceptable or not because I see a lot of shit. So I'm gonna just say right on, brother, these, and all that. Yeah, I'm gonna just do one of these. Bond, here you go, Black Power. We right on, you know what I'm saying? I probably text you the sign I was gonna throw up or something that you didn't know. Word.
Yeah, man, I wear hats with no logos on, no sports teams logos on.
Yeah.
Unless it's the Dodger hat. The Dodger hat is like the peace treaty hat. So
the LA hat, I think that's what I learned in my LA travelings is that if you wear LA hat, niggas look at you and be like, oh, all right, cool.
You good.
You're just here to get some gas or some
one thing I will say, unlike other cities, they will ask you where you from.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Y'all got the most polite gangbangers. I didn't got banged on twice. Like nigga with the White Sox hat, that's a very dangerous hat. Nigga.
No, this nigga was wearing a White Sox hat on Manchester, nigga.
Yeah, I be in the hood. I be in the hood.
And I will say, shout out to Baron Davis because when the last time I was out in LA, I was with Baron Davis and he's somebody, you know what I mean? So
shout out to BD, man.
It was a little different, you know what I mean?
I brought up Mariano to my bar, like I got the bar in Culver
Before I left, nigga Scott said, you gotta pull up right over here. Bond, send the Addy. Oh, where was I at? Oh, right over there with Scott sent the Addy. You know what I'm saying? And then my man, look, when I was waiting, shout out to homie. When I was waiting, I was chilling. Meal was done, paid for, my tab is closed. He looked at me and was like, yo, you waiting for a ride and all that, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, oh, all right, hold on. He came back like 2 minutes later with a whole nother beer. Bang! What I ordered.
Yeah.
Here you go. Hey, listen, let's not even talk about that no more. Here, take that beer. Yeah. You can have that. Don't even talk about that no more. Bring it up to me.
Rocco's in Culver City. I'm like
Rocco's in Culver City.
I'm like Norm on Cheers, nigga, when I go on there.
That nigga, listen, that nigga looked at me and said, yo, you had the Lagunitas, right? Heard you. Here you go. Nigga. Mom, hold this down.
The magic joint.
Look. Feel me? Bong, here you go. Take that. And I was like, oh, this is me? And he looked at me and was like, yo, bro, like, enjoy your trip. And I'm like, oh, my God.
VIP Chair Scott, man.
Yeah,
They made me feel like Fat Joe in the spot, bro. I'm like,
they are good people, man. They've been holding me down since I moved.
And they white. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, they good people and they white. That count for something. Like, let's be real.
Rocco's got me through a lot of hard times, man. Shout out to them. And before we get up out here, Dante, do not forget, the Chicago White Sox are back.
Oh,
the White Sox are back, Dante.
Dante off for the night. Dante night. That nigga forgot about that shit.
I'm definitely about to roll up now. Like,
hey, Dante, I was gonna say, listen, Dante forgot all about that shit from like an hour ago. You just remind that nigga it's over.
The White Sox.
I think about to roll up and exhale out of saxophone, dude.
Oh man, we're me and Dante holler at y'all after me and Dante holler at y'all Monday after Game 5, man.
Yeah.
Shot Clock Show debut 2 weeks. We're gonna have more information and date coming for y'all very soon. So stay tuned to that. We out of here, y'all.
Get it and flip it, we did it off the 9. Stay in the kitchen, I'm never off of mine. And now I'm camping, it's blind.